Y'all, just days after Tyrese been on Instagram crying every day about the judge and his ex-wife being called the B word, the judge has now ordered him to pay almost $700,000 back in child support. Is y'all ready to jost Tyrese? I know I am. Let's jost.
Come on, Blaze.
It's the beat for me.
Wow, 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 wow. For your guy, for your B-O-Y. Drop it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Do it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Come on, baby, we live.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl Voodoo back with a quick little joke, and we here to joke Tyrese, girl. Listen, I have been following his case. I know he had went online and called all the powers that be, Benjamin Crump, all the girls and the boys, Al Sharpton. He put his dashiki on and his good scully in the dead of spring to get online and tell us that the judge is racist and that he needed help and support from the people who's supposed to be there for the other type of support, not your divorce support. But nevertheless, girl, after dragging Judge Farmer, and I only know that from him going on Instagram Live in this doggone dashiki, he tried to get Judge Farmer off the bench, and it backfired on Tyrese. It actually worked in the judge's favor, and the judge decided Tyrese was not only going to pay child support in the future, he's gonna pay back child support. And now we got him back online crying again. Girl, listen, when I saw Tyrese on this doggone internet this morning 5:30, as I'm getting up, before I brush my teeth, checking to see what I missed on Instagram the night before, because on weekdays I get up real early. Girl, I was done. I was too done, because he literally was on Instagram Live basically saying how the judge and the court system is against men. And I'm not saying he 100% false, but God leave Tyrese. This is your fourth or fifth relationship we done doggone witness where you have been the culprit and you have been the person at the bad end of the stick. At some point in time, you got to look at the man in the mirror, and say, I'm starting with the man in the mirror. We'd rather hear you sing that song than I'm ashamed of me. Shame on me. We don't want to hear that. We tired of it, Tyrese. We tired. And through every woman you come across, it don't work out. You got to start asking the Lord, why, Lord? Why, oh, why, Lord? Why? Why is it that all these women that are your preferences are taking you to the bank and cashing their checks? I'm confused, Tyrese. I don't like this for you, and I don't like this for us on the internet, because we have to be subjected to this because you going through it. Now, granted, you got a good song that you just put out called I Don't Think You Ever Love Me. I don't think you ever love me. I ain't gonna lie, it pop. We get very good music when people's hearts be broken and whatnot. But nevertheless, that's neither here nor there. The point I'm making, Tyrese, is we tired. The people over here is tired. Us black women, we tired. We don't want to hear no more about you going through all your dramas and your ills and wills with your preferences. You don't learn. You got the new girl before you could even have the divorce paper signed and the ink dry on the divorce. You don't learn, Tyrese. And at some point, I'm believing it's you. You seem like a narcissist. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to diagnose you, but that's the vibe and the tease I'm getting. Because I went on this live this morning to hear you out. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, maybe I'm tripping. You know what I'm saying? Let me give Tyrese ill. You know what I'm saying? Because it was 5:30 over here in Georgia, and he's in the state of Georgia with me, so I know it was too early for him to be on Instagram Live. Nevertheless, I tuned in as I got ready, brushed my teeth and got myself together for the day. And Tyrese was over there basically dragging the judge again as if it helped him the first time. Tyrese, it did not help you the first time. That's why the judge ordered you to pay arrears. Fat? Come on now, stinker, fat. You have to be smarter than what you are. You're in the middle of divorce proceedings and you get on Instagram Live to tell us your judge is racist. You had to know that wasn't going to end up right for you. It wasn't going to end up good for you. Cry. You had to know that wasn't going to end up good for you. You have to start using your brain. Baby, you supposed to drag for the judge after the verdict gets handed down. Duh. You don't drag for him in the middle of the proceedings as if him going to another panel of judges, they was going to take your side over his. Are you crazy, Cry Reese, are you crazy? You got to be the lost your rabbit. Nevertheless, listen, I'm going to let y'all see a piece of this little Instagram live he had me up. Since I had to be up at 5:30 listening to it, y'all going to listen to it too. But it was just him basically saying how the judge ain't worth a dime and the system is against black men when it come to these children and these wives and whatnot. And he still don't know why his wife divorced him. At this point, child, who cares? It's done. It's over with. And I'm pretty sure Samantha done told you, but you so stuck up in your own self, you probably didn't hear it. Nevertheless, let me let y'all hear a little bit of this doggone Instagram live, and I'm going to come back with a little bit more commentary. All right, hold on.
A house wide open for you and all your friends to do a home invasion again and steal all the shit out of the house. I still don't know what she took to this day. I got robbed. Yes, we resided in the same house, but I'm the only one with legal paperwork that says that I actually own the home. So technically, I was actually robbed. A home invasion, and there were 6 accomplices that stole all the shit out the house. What did they steal? What did they take? Her belongings? Did they take any of my belongings? I don't know. I wasn't there. She never sent me any photos or videos of anything that was taken out of the house. But one thing's for sure, I never put her and my daughter out of the house.
All right, real quick, y'all, just for a little context, because I started screen recording a little bit too late. Cry Reese left, and the girl went and packed all her things and left. He's calling it a breaking and entering when the girl had a key. Now, he said he went got the locks changed on the door or whatever because he didn't know if she was going to come back and allegedly steal anything. But from the looks of it, if you don't know if any of your stuff is missing, apparently she didn't touch none of your stuff. She just took her things, and you said that just now. But let me let y'all get back to it because Cry Reese really had me thrown for a loop this morning.
And when the locks were changed, and I got the receipt with the date, the name of the locksmith company that I used, the locks were changed 4 days after she moved out on her own. Because after talking to my team, they was like, yo, what if she comes back? The door, the code, what if they come back? They'd be like, oh, we left something in the basement. It could be anything. You should get your locks changed, bro. You're out of town. So that's what I did.
Real quick, can I also add that it is illegal to change the locks on a home that you both reside in? That's illegal, Fat. See, Stank of Fat not telling us everything. Cry is not telling us everything, and I'm pretty sure the judge told him that. You can't change the locks because you don't know where she gonna come in and take. Y'all cohabitate. Cry Reese. You cannot do that, Fat. Stank of Fat. Nah, you're doing the most, but let me let you get back to it. I just had to come in and say you did the most, and that's why your ass is over there with the crying face right now. Let's go get back into it.
So now, in closing, there was a paragraph in my prenuptial agreement that clearly states that after we signed a 75, 85-page prenuptial agreement and document, we didn't just sign the last page. We signed and put our signature on the corner of every page of the document. She had her own lawyer. I never hired her. I never paid the retainer for her attorney that did her prenup. I did mine. She did hers. We both had our own individual counsel to go over everything and all of the terms of this prenuptial agreement. One of the terms in the prenuptial agreement, I'm only speaking on this because this is public knowledge. One of the terms inside the prenuptial agreement that no lawyer, no judge, nobody could undo or change is that if Samantha wants to argue about the realness or the validity or the legal binding document called a prenuptial agreement, if she wants to argue anything about anything that we signed off on and put our signatures on, then Samantha Gibson is 100% responsible for covering all of her own legal fees pertaining to arguing about anything that has to do with the validity of our prenuptial agreement. So what did they do today? She argued about the prenuptial agreement. She argued about terms in the prenup. It's called a contested versus a non-contested. If it's no non-contested, we're not arguing about anything. These documents is real. It's 100% facts. She knew what she signed. I knew what I signed. It's not non-contested. If it's a contested divorce, if it's a contested prenuptial agreement, then now you're saying some of the things that I signed off on, I'd like to present it and I want to argue about. We can't argue about a prenuptial agreement. Prenuptial agreement, not post-nuptial, prenuptial. A prenuptial agreement says prior to us exchanging our nuptials, prenuptial, we understand that if we ever break up, this marriage dissolve, anything ever happen, there are no child custody terms in a prenup.
Cry, Reese. I'm just going off your words. I don't have the documentation in front of me. You just said that y'all signed on each page of your prenup that she cannot order the validity, meaning how valid it is, in any court proceedings. If so, she would be responsible for her own attorney fees. Well, I don't think she was arguing the validity of it. She was just saying it was bullshit. Cry, Reese. Go back and look at your paperwork, fad. Stank of fad. Go back and look at your paperwork because they might explain it to you wrong. Because according to what you just said, you said she cannot argue the validity of it. And I don't think from the sounds of what you're saying, she argued any validity. She's just saying, I don't agree with this. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I'm just saying, I'm just listening to your words. And of course, there's no child custody issues or stuff in your prenup because typically people don't do that. But see, men have this messed up idea that just because you get a prenup, it's automatically your protection. Sometimes your prenup could work against you if you don't have it drawn up correctly the first time. Look at Cry Reese. You know, I saw one dude comment and was like, I thought the prenup was supposed to protect the men. That's your problem. Go ahead on, keep letting these fly-by-night lawyers run up some paperwork telling y'all protected. And then y'all gonna be down there crying the river. Cry me a river. Just like Cry Reese. Girl, I ain't got no time to play with y'all and no Cry Reese. Cry Reese. We ain't got time for it, fat. Stink of fat. We ain't got time. Nevertheless, girl, I ain't gonna even bore y'all with no more of this. At the end of the day, he gotta pay that child support. You know what? I'm lying. Let me bore you with just a tad bit more of how the judge came and told him he had to pay child support. Not only in the front, but in the rear. Let me let y'all hear this real quick.
Everything about what this judge did is a complete violation of the law, the laws of Georgia. The cost of living in Georgia is very minimal compared to New York, compared to LA. Google it. Most expensive cities to live in, and tell me where does Georgia fall on that, which is why a lot of people move here. It does not matter what I make versus what her mother makes. My daughter, Tyrese Gibson, has never suffered. From the moment her mother took her out of the house, she has never suffered. She has never been without. Her mother makes well over $150,000 a year, which is good for her. Well educated, very smart, very articulate, very capable of getting and keeping a job. A very independent, self-sufficient woman. That's the way it's always been.
So really quick, he mentions the fact that Georgia is lower on the totem pole when it comes to cost of living. He's correct in that. However, he caveats that by saying she makes well over $150K and the child don't want for nothing. What does that have to do with you? Cry. Don't you make well over $150K as well? Which is why the judge put your ass back on back child support. Cry. Come on now, you got to do better than this. But listen, I'm just coming in real quick to say that he's using that as far as the girl being educated and able to take care of her child as if that means he shouldn't have to pay the child support that he was ordered to pay. That's not how this works, Cry Reese. Let me let y'all get right back to it because I'm ready to get out of here.
The judgment was the judgment. Is anybody surprised? I'm not. Me and my attorney shed light on his racist, aggressive, egregious, illegal, literally illegal. I know he's the judge, but the things that he dropped on us, he grabbed a child support payment from California and brought my child support payment from California here to Georgia, I was paying $2,500 a month on my own with no court order in place since Samantha left me. He turned $2,500 into $10,690. And then he said, yeah, it's good to know you started paying child support on your own. But what I'm going to do, without a court order, I want your child support payment to be $10,690. He didn't say, let's start today. He said, retroactively, we're going to go backwards to 2 years ago and turn that $2,500 into $10,690 from 2 years ago. That is illegal.
Oh, cry. I wish I could say I feel some type of sympathy for you. Love your music, but I don't. You get what you get. You had your little preference. Go ahead on, pay your little child support. I hope you're all getting residuals from your Fast and Furious and all your Coca-Colas and whatnot, because you're going to need it, fat stinker fat. You're going to need it. Tyrese, we don't want to hear no more. Listen, pay the people and move on about your business. If the judge did all this stuff illegally, then I don't think we be having a conversation. I think the judge will be behind bars, but I digress. Y'all drop down in the comments and let me know what y'all think about Cry, aka Reese, aka Tyrese, over there crying to us because his old lady done took all his money and skipped the doodle to town, as she should. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow me on TikTok, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.
Mr. Carroll, how you give the voodoo doll time to talk? I don't get no fucking time to talk.
Who the voodoo doll is?
The nigga you just had up here.